Today's success story is about legal immigration. Okay, somebody who graduated from an Ivy League and got an H-1b visa, and the company sponsored them and then getting a green card. I want to walk you through that journey because a lot of people think, let's get rid of the illegal immigrants. Why don't everybody do the legal immigration? Let me kind of walk you through what legal immigration looks like and just how insanely difficult it is. And this is actually already the perfect story. The client graduated at a career fair. The company and us, we went together to recruit said individual during the interview. This individual, pretty stellar, had a lot of companies to choose from. And this company was a relatively small tech company. The salary wasn't as high. But because the company was willing to work on the immigration application for this individual and be very cooperative, that was the signing bonus for this individual. So the individual said, okay, you know what, maybe bigger companies have a bigger career path, but I'm willing to sign on with this smaller tech company. As the tech company's corporate counsel, we filed the H-1b in 2022, and then when we filed the perm in March of 2022, which is crazy, because basically at the same time, and then by December of 2022, same year, we filed the I-140, and within 1 month, the case got approved, right? So everything was approved in 1 year. The H-1b, the perm, and the I-140, but the client still has to wait about 5 years. So now, as of now, it's already been about 2.5, 3 years. They still have to wait like 2, 3 more years before they can apply for a green card. This started like basically the end of 2021. It started in 2022 when we filed the H-1b and everything. They're years away from filing a green card to see if they deserve to be in the United States, to get lawful permanent resident status. If during this entire time, 5 years, 6 years, right, that they've been waiting, graduated Ivy League as an international student, and then going to work at these companies, helping this company grow from an 18 small tech company to a $50 million revenue company within just a few years. All this effort, if he gives birth to a kid under the executive order, that kid would not be a U.S. citizen because he's not a permanent resident yet, because he's not even close to even applying for permanent residency. He's still there years out. And this person is not even Indian. If this person is Indian, goodness gracious, I'm gonna wait another couple more years before they could even consider applying for a green card. So many Indian nationals, software developers, amazing tech workers who are in the United States, who've been here for almost 10 plus years on H-1B, their perm has been approved, their EB2, EB3 has been approved for years and years and years, meaning the government, the companies advertise on the market, nobody could fill the position, and they spent tens of thousands of dollars going through the legal process in filing fees, and now they're stuck with this company to work for them until they're waiting in line to be able to file for a green card. That entire process, 1 year. Right now, if we're starting in 2025, instead of 1 year, we predict maybe 2.5 to 3 years time instead of 1 year. So this case is a prime example of somebody who is a stellar international student, that somebody the US desperately needs and wants. Small companies who really need talent like this, being able to recruit them early on, and then they are put in positions of authority and build out the company and double the revenue, double the staff, but it still takes them 5 years, 7 years to be able to get a green card. That is the legal pathway, and that was 2022. Now let's just add another 2, 3 years. So it's a 10-year process. However you define indenture servitude throughout history, back in Greek and Roman times, back in Egypt, wherever it is, anything over 7 years kind of feels like indenture servitude. In this case, under the H-1B, under our immigration process, that is what a normal way to get a green card through an employer looks like. And that is if the employer even wants you. Most people can't even get an employer to say, yes, I'm willing to go through that process for you. That's how crazy it is. The US is full of contradictions, and maybe it's for the better. but it is full of contradictions. We have a tremendous supply of talent that wants to come here. We have tremendous effort by the US government to prevent people from coming here. We create all these barriers to make it impossibly difficult for them to stay here and to work here and to get green cards. And the cost of living is so high that even people who live here, who want to work here, cannot afford it and leave. And it's just this constant state of flux of expanding and contracting. But that is this country, for better or for worse. Whatever your opinion about the direction that this country is going, I just want to at least share with you what the legal process looks like for somebody who graduated STEM, who has a master's degree from Ivy League, who got an H-1b, got through the advertisement, got through the perm, got the I-140 approved, and still has to wait years and years and years before even being able to apply for a green card. But on the flip side, any international students who are in this space, thinking about it and choosing between different companies, my advice is always choose the company that you can work with, because this is a 5 to 10 year process. And at any time, they can pull back and say, nope, we don't want to do it anymore. So pick the company that you can most closely work with, that you can trust and they can trust you. If you are just a number in the grand scheme of things, they can easily just pause and say, nope, company policy, we're no longer filing any perms. And suddenly you're stuck. If you have the luxury to choose, that is. And I know that's a big luxury to talk about in this job marketplace. With all that being said, the system is still working, as hard as it may be, right? Because we just got the secretary's I-140 approved after so many years. And so if the company is on board, you are on board, you have value, the company has value, the US Immigration Services is still granting these by the thousands every single day. And that's why there's such a backlog, because there are so many things to do and so many approvals to make. It's just obviously increasingly more difficult.